here we go, Gareth was wrong, it's going to break out, blah, 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 blah. And then what happens? They get the good old-fashioned rug pull. You have to understand the confirmation signal about how key it is. You must confirm a breakout to be a breakout, just like you must confirm a breakdown to be a real breakdown. They are absolutely genius trades here, and I think you'll understand when I get to it.
Hello and welcome to Crypto Street, where we bring you the latest and most intriguing stories from the world of cryptocurrencies. In today's video, we'll be unraveling the secrets of Bitcoin's future. But before we jump into that, let's take a look at some recent developments in the cryptocurrency market. ARK Invest now more confident in Bitcoin reaching $1.5 million, CEO says. U.S. presidential candidate Robert Kennedy Jr. unveils plan to back U.S. dollar with Bitcoin. Former U.S. President Donald Trump warns of economic depression if he's not elected. U.S. securities regulator accepts Valkyrie's spot Bitcoin ETF application. Nearly 80,000 dormant Ether ICO tokens awaken in 2023, including 61,216 ETH transferred to Kraken. Ethereum's Solidity developers have bridged to Solana via Solang. Unlike Father, Spencer Schiff calls depression warning fearmongering, predicts hyperdeflationary boom, Bitcoin crash, banks on AI future. Boomer Vendome launched an innovative NFT initiative with a physical twist on Crypto.com, featuring 19 unique designs inspired by the Rose de Damas ring. First French crypto license given to Societe Generale's crypto branch. Nasdaq scraps crypto custody plans amid U.S. regulatory issues. Avalanche Foundation, Hue join forces to amplify digital artists. Sol staking service by Marinade Finance now live. Pre-mining era ETH worth $116 million moves wallets. Now let's begin our enlightening discussion with Gareth Soloway.
What did we see? We saw Bitcoin reversing here, and we have now retested this low. Now, the impressive, there's positives and negatives here on the chart. The positive is we're still inside of this band, right? We're still inside of this realm. The positive is also the last 2 days we've been piercing this lower band of 30,000, and they've rescued the market. They've rescued. You've had buyers come in and keep price right around that 30,000 daily close, give or take by a little bit. Today, we're up just fractionally on the Bitcoin price. All right, so again, those are some positives. The negatives are this. Look at how long we've been going sideways. Yes, this is known in technical analysis as bullish consolidation, but really bullish consolidation should break out by now. All right, you should have had a breakout. Doesn't mean it can't, but probabilities begin to shift, right? We start to say, okay, it hasn't been able to. Think about this. There's the old analogy, and I love this analogy. This is an analogy I use about resistance or support. Think about yourself. You're outside of your house. There's a fire in your house. You have your cat or your dog in there. You need to break it down, right? So you ram against that level. That's resistance. You're ramming your shoulder into it. You hit it once, it probably doesn't break down. You hit it twice, it maybe doesn't break down. By the third or the fourth point, the door gives way. Okay, that's the thought process. So if we look at Bitcoin, you hit it here, you hit it here. You even kind of got halfway in, and it still didn't give way. And so what happens is, let's say there's that fire, and there's that cat or that dog inside that you want to save, and you get to a point where you ram the door 50 times, and it still doesn't break. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to figure out another way. You're going to maybe go around to a window. You're going to go around to the back door. You're going to leave this area and move away. And that's the thought process where if you can't break out after a certain amount of time, the path of least resistance is to, in this case, the downside, all right? So again, to summarize, Bitcoin's still within this range, but again, if we confirm below this level, you're now headed to 28,500 or so, this pivot, and if you break through that, let's talk about where we're headed. This is my target. Okay, target is 26,900, basically around 27,000. Amazing trend line. Now, I want to be clear on this. As long as this trend line holds, this one here, this white one, then Bitcoin can be bought on pullbacks. Okay, why? Well, very simply, this is an upsloping trend line connecting all the pivot lows together. that means it is an uptrend. The trend is still up. If you break this line and you start trading down in this range, the trend is not up anymore. It has failed, and now you have to think you're probably headed back. First support would be 25,000, then potentially 20,000, and eventually, if you keep breaking these pivot lows, you're going back to that 15,700 level. All right, so again, that's your summary. Now, on the upside, let's just say Bitcoin eventually breaks out, which, again, I'm a long-term bull, so eventually I do think Bitcoin breaks out. My upside is very simple to calculate here. You take this pivot from 2019, you stretch it right through here. This is my ultimate kind of, 6 to 12-month upside target. You could see that's a beautiful trend line through these lows right through here, and that's around 45,000. So, again, if you're able to break above this level, this 31,000, and confirm, then you're headed to about 45,000. There is resistance around 35 that you'll have to monitor, but I still think, again, the momentum probably carries us up to about 45,000.
ARK Investment Management, ARK Invest, is now more confident in Bitcoin's price reaching $1.5 million per coin. The firm's CEO, Cathie Wood, stated that their confidence has increased toward the bull case scenario for Bitcoin. In ARK Invest's annual Big Ideas 2023 report, the base case scenario projected Bitcoin to reach $682,800 by December 2030, while the bull case scenario envisioned the price soaring to $1.48 million in the same time period. Wood attributed the increased bullishness in Bitcoin to the regional bank crisis in March, during which several major banks failed. She sees Bitcoin as an insurance policy against wealth confiscation and counterparty risk in deflationary environments. Wood emphasized that Bitcoin's decentralized and transparent nature makes it different from traditional financial assets and believes it can protect against financial crisis. Now let's go back to Gareth Soloway.
Quickly looking at Ethereum, guys. Ethereum, again, this is the beauty of it. Look at this little channel right in here. If this breaks, we head down to this level around $1,730, $1,740. If this area breaks, we're probably headed to this pivot high right up here at around 2,130. Now, one thing I want to say is, this is the beauty of it, guys. Everyone, when I go on interviews, they always ask me, well, what's your big play here? What's your thought process? What's your max downside? And my max downside still is 12,000 on Bitcoin with worst case scenario of 9,000. Now, 9,000 would be achieved only if you see a stock market collapse, because it would be a liquidity draining panic scenario, right? So people would run away from risk assets, and Bitcoin would have probably a downside move sub 10,000. All right. But the bottom line again is that when you're looking at these charts, I'm in here trading long and short multiple times. Like we were short Ethereum already, and we banked, and Ethereum went back up, and we went short right here again, and now we're in the money.
Bitcoin BTC slipped below $30,000 on Wednesday, dropping to an intraday low of $29,556.43 after reaching a peak of $30,184.18 on Tuesday. The decline comes after a 5-day win-less run following last week's move close to $32,000. However, bulls have started to fight back, and Bitcoin is back above $30,000, supported by the Relative Strength Index, RSI, finding a support point at the 50.00 mark. Despite the recent bounce, there is a concern for bulls as a downward crossover between the 10-day red and 25-day blue moving averages occurred, which could signal a potential future sell-off. Traders and investors will closely monitor these technical indicators to assess Bitcoin's price movement in the coming days. Ethereum ETH experienced a brief drop below the $1,900 level, reaching a low of $1,878.72 before rebounding to a high of $1,918.12. Like Bitcoin, Ethereum had been trending lower for 5 consecutive days before the rebound. The Relative Strength Index, RSI, is currently heading towards a ceiling of 55.00, following the bounce back on Wednesday. If the RSI breaks through this level, it could signal a potential move towards the $1,930 mark, which was last reached during the weekend's trading session. If Ethereum manages to break this ceiling, there's a good chance it could make another attempt at reaching the $2,000 price level. Traders will closely monitor these technical indicators to assess the potential price movement of Ethereum in the coming days. That wraps up today's crypto news highlights. Stay tuned for more updates, insights, and analysis from the world of cryptocurrencies. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content.